All right, so this is post you guys basically dealing with the essence of Smiley, the and the post combat dinner party, I guess, and you guys each have found yourselves in your room for the night, basically unwinding and eventually finding yourselves asleep from the interesting day that you've had. Cayenne, your dreams are essentially just filled with the many different children, seeing their faces, getting a glimpse of who they are while you help them pass on. Not exactly the most sound sleep you've ever had. But
I figured as much.
pulling a double shift essentially for what you're doing. Uh, Nikolai,
Yes.
I didn't hear you.
I said yes.
Um, you have you fall into your slumber and you see that there's this stony walkway leading into a city, and you see that there are three moon mice traveling with a few kids, uh, escorting them essentially, and each one of the moon mice has essentially taken on one of the children as to watch over.
Hmm.
And you see it kind of play out almost like a slideshow as they go into the city to find refuge. And the next morning comes and you see one of the children is missing.
Oh, jeez.
And the moon mice are looking for the child, panicked, distraught, upset. And eventually, two of the moon mice go missing into the darkness. And eventually, the one moon mouse that is left with the two remaining children disappears into the darkness. The children left with the screams of the moon mouse as they seem to engage with combat in a flourish of sparks and other things, and soon silence follows, and the two remaining children are approached by a gentleman seeming like a teenager, and the teenager holds out his hand, taking a sweeping bow. Come with me, children. I'll protect you. Once and always. And the children look at each other with no choice but to take the hand as they're lured into the darkness.
Ah, boy. These were moon mice children? Or human children?
They were human children that were
Okay.
being protected by moon mice.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And it's easy for you to surmise that whatever this entity was disposed of the moon mice to get to its food, essentially.
Yeah. Where the heck would I have this true?
Manga. As you sleep, you see a long, winding forest with a dirt road and several beautiful flowers, and you see a munchkin that is traveling with others of about the same age, an elf, a dwarf, a human. And if you want, you can do an insight manga.
Oh, I got a feeling I know who this is.
Let me guess. There's at least 4 of them.
What was your roll there?
I got a grand total of 5.
5. Okay. Wow. Yeah, you don't know shit, bud.
Nope.
And much like Nikolai, you see glimpses of this moon mouse. You can see that she was raised by 2 noble humans as opposed to actual Munchkin parents. And they prepare her as best as possible, and they meet with other parents, and they all kind of gather together where they pull their resources, knowing that the kids want to go adventure, essentially, and get the supplies together that they need to do that, to supply them as best as they can to go on this adventure. And you see, as they start to go on this adventure, you see the non-human kids are eventually just lured away one by one. And you can tell that this is a shadow that is doing this, that is luring these people away, these young adventurers. And eventually it's just the human and this little calico munchkin. And you see that shadowy figure appear, consuming all the light in the area, putting out the campfire, and appears behind the munchkin and grabs her short sword as she tries to defend herself, and brings its hand up in a grand gesture, these wires snapping into her arms, and just kind of looks down at her as it lifts her up, and her blood dripping to the ground as her feet leave the ground. You'll make a magnificent puppet, but first you get to watch. And the little munchkin is pinned to the tree and is forced to watch as the shadowy figure consumes the child in what remains of the campfire. Angela.
Yes.
You find yourself in your meditative state. Generally, you're aware of your surroundings because of this, to some degree. But you find yourself, for once, dreaming, or perhaps experiencing some sort of fragment because of the recent events that have happened. You find yourself as a young child once again, but able to see, and you can see that you're along for one of the outings of the Oniseta into one of the realms. And as you're there, you remember the stories that the Oniseta spun around the cauldrons and the campfires and such, of things that go bump in the night. That there is always this strange tune that would play sometimes that would lure away the non-stone set children. And you watch it as slideshows play, as over time you realize a lot of these disappearings of your own clansmen, your own people disappearing, were caused by the same entity. And while you're in this state of observance, you are eventually kind of pulled by the music as well, following it on the wind, away from the Oniseta camp, the warmth of your people, into the darkness, into the clutches of whatever this is. It touches the deepest pit of your stomach and it snaps you awake instantly. A cold sweat runs down your face for once, perhaps the influence of things that have happened recently. Do you get up to go over to the water basin?
Yep.
You get up and you head over to the water basin and you splash some water on your face. What I'm surmising you're doing. And do a perception for me.
22.
As you splash water on your face, you feel something off, and you bring your glare up to the mirror, and before you see the reflection of that Fae looking back at you, and he just smiles at you. How do you respond, Angelo?
That's a good question. Let's see, how would we respond to that? Let's say that we go ahead and shatter that mirror.
You go to bring your hand up to shatter the mirror, and the hands reach out the mirror and grab your throat and start to strangle you, and you stumble back. Do a perception for me.
12.
As you stumble back away from the mirror that you reached out to shatter, you realize you are strangling yourself.
All right then. This is concerning.
Your right hand comes up and Cole cocks you across the face.
Oh, okay. we're having a one of those moments, huh?
You take 5 points of damage.
God. Oh. Okay. Let's see. What in the Sam Raimi just happened? We're gonna go ahead, grab that hand,
It flips you off.
If this is gonna fucking hurt, but I'm putting my hand in the doorway and slamming the door on my hand.
You do an additional 5 points of damage to yourself. And you guys hear
As I do,
you guys
Go ahead.
all are startled awake as you hear a door slam.
and I'm gonna go ahead and use message to communicate with the group. It seems we have a problem.
And as you do that, you guys hear another message pop into your head. Each of you. And that problem is you.
What the hell's going on? Do we recognize the voices?
They both sound like Angelo.
What the hell?
Too early for this shit.
Uh,
What? Yeah, I'll go see what the hell he's talking about.
as you leave your room, you see briefly as the doors swung open from Angelo as he stumbles back into his room, fighting with his own hand. And
All right. I'm getting
Angelo,
up and I'm looking for a sandwich.
your leg juts out and trips you, and you fall over your own legs as it fights back against you. And you land face first on the ground.
I I don't have control of parts of my body right now.
I'd
This
holler
is not
for
good.
Ace to come over and help restrain his ass and start pulling out chain and rope.
As you do that, he fires an Eldritch blast at you, Nikolai.
You
I
fucker.
don't even have that one.
Apparently you
How
do
did-
know.
You don't have a sandwich in hand, Mongo, but you do have what looks to be almost like some sort of round coin that has a hole punched in the top. What are you doing, Cayenne? As you hear this ruckus starting from a few rooms over.
Guess search out whatever bullshit's happening.
You hear from Angelo in the other room. You're not in control. I'm in control. There's only room enough for one of us. What do you do, Angelo?
Do I see it's just Angelo making that noise?
You see him wrestling around with himself, yes.
Nikolai's hiding behind something while pulling out rope to tie his ass up.
Angelo, that hand comes up and grabs back your head and slams your face into the ground. Cayenne, do a perception for me.
That's a natural 20 to see whatever this dipshit did.
Nice.
There's something clearly wrong with Angelo, but you look over
Well,
and you
duh.
see Biddy basically laying there on the ground, unconscious in a pool of little blood.
Oh no.
I'm
The hell did
gonna
Angelo do
check
now?
on Biddy. Since Biddy is laying in their own blood and Angelo is not.
Angelo, you're immediately pulled to your feet as your arm tries taking a swing at you, but you manage to dodge out of the way and nearly fall over again.
Okay. This is getting weird.
I don't know what the fuck you did, but you need to fix it your fucking self.
All right. Guess I'm
And
getting
that's
up
an
and going.
order
looking.
from my mouth.
Mongo, as you go in there, you see Angelo spinning around a little bit, and as he tries to regain his composure, you can see that another arm is starting to come out of his back and grab him by the shoulder and start strangling him with the use of the other arm.
Am I the only one seeing this?
No, everybody's seeing this.
Does the Ace come yet?
Ace is currently sleeping his ass through this.
Did you see anybody else in the
Thing
room at this
face.
time?
What the fuck?
Cayenne is there.
I understand that, combat gets certain people, well, others would, really get their blood flowing. I'm not sure what it does to you, but I am not watching this. Oh, no.
I think that Faye is back. He was in the mirror.
I don't want to watch
What
you
mirror?
getting handsy with yourself.
You look over, Cayenne, and you see the broken mirror by the water basin.
Do I know that it was not supposed to be touched?
The mirror?
Yeah.
The mirror doesn't really play a factor in this. But it could be a source of power for this Fae. Any reflection based off of previous encounters. Mongo, as you're trying to retort Faneface, you hear from said Faneface the familiar voice as the Fae's like, I'm going to consume your friend here, and I'm going to kill each of you. He is such easy prey.
What does it mean if we have to kill him, Cayenne? How do you think that affects the deal?
What would I know?
Well, the fact that he's currently possessed by an enemy, and if Victor would see that as a sign of weakness, so would just make Angelo null and void.
So that basically he needs to be killed and or he needs to fix this himself?
It needs to
While
be
we
fixed,
watch?
or it needs to be fixed, or he needs to be exterminated.
Do what you must.
This is annoying enough that Cayenne just wants to go on a fucking murder spree.
Well, let's tie him up and then we can figure out what the hell we need to do.
I've got a fun idea, but I'm not awake enough for this shit. Plus, I may need you to build something. We'll just knock his ass out for right now.
Angelo pulls out his hammer and takes a swing at you, Mongo.
Whoa. Don't let me hit you. That would be really, really bad for your health.
Make
How
an
much
attack
you don't
there,
hit us, asshole?
Make an attack there, Angelo.
Oh, shit. 15.
Does that hit you, Mongo?
I'm a wizard, it might. Since I was asleep and came over, did I have that chainmail on?
No.
Okay, then, there's a chance that might be equal. I've got a, that button? Not that button. Action feature background. Where the fuck is my equipment? That button.
Yeah, equipment and then remove or something like that. Or...
So I don't really fuck with my equipment loadout, so well, currently it is affixed on paper, and my AC is 16, so if it adds a +1, it equals. If it adds +2, then it beats.
I think it would break even, so he would still cold cock you with the hammer.
Ugh.
Well,
I still hit him.
Yeah.
I'm very sorry, Tom.
Are you really?
Are you rolling damage or am I rolling damage?
No, that's all you, bud. You're the one making the attack.
Shit. Okay, that is... I am sorry, Tom. That is 10 necrotic.
You get walloped with that massive necrotic hammer, Mongo, and it sends you tumbling a little bit. Still on your feet, but tumbling a little bit. And you hear from Angelo. Smash him into the ground. You know you want to. Make a will save there, Angelo.
9. That was almost a natural one. This is not good.
What was it?
9.
Make another swing at him.
Oof.
I'm so sorry. 27.
Oh dear God.
So that first one was 10. And then you said 27?
To hit.
Oh yeah, that I'm still trying to figure out where the fuck the armor is on here.
That's okay.
But yeah.
Roll that damage again.
That's 7 more.
As you're reeling on your feet there, Mongo, the hammer comes around and he love taps you on the other side of the face. Cayenne, you have now seen Angelo outright attack Mongo.
How much sleep did I get? Do I have all my spells back?
I would say you have all your spells back.
Groovy.
Look, getting hit by the hammer is one thing. Do not let me touch you.
Yeah,
And
we
at
don't know
that
where
point-
you've been, bud.
Your right hand starts to try to lunge out towards him.
How far am I from him?
Less than 20.
Let's entangle this bastard.
Ooh.
Well, that'll make it easier to do the things I was going to do. I was just going to try to use some acrobatics and, like, lasso his ass.
I haven't seen you use that spell in a hot minute there, Cayenne.
It's a 90-foot range and it's a 20-foot square.
And everybody's entangled.
Great.
Cayenne has used the poison ivy equivalent of BDSM.
I'm gonna try to focus the entangle specifically on Angelo to try to minimize it for everybody else.
High or low, Cayenne?
With how you've been rolling, I always typically go high.
Okay. I need to roll damage dice here for a specific reason. I didn't realize we were going this full Sam Raimi, but yes, we are.
I think Cayenne just did the the druid equivalent of the wizard I cast Fireball. You know, everybody's in the room. I didn't ask about that. I said I cast Fireball.
So you pull the vines back a little bit, and you just have one like vine wrapped around your ankle, Mongo, and it's just kind of like almost. It keeps trying to grab at you as you move out of the way, trying to prepare whatever you're going to prepare. Nikolai, Ace comes in and just puts his foot down on top of the one that's trying to grab you.
Thanks, buddy. Heavy sleeper today?
He holds up a thumb. And Angela, the vines kind of coalesce on you and start wrapping around your legs and shredding your pants. And you can feel them starting to censor southern areas
Oh,
with a mini thorns.
okay.
And you
So we're
take,
going that kind of Evil Dead here.
and you take 19 points of damage as things begin to get
Non-consensual?
non-consensual. How do you respond, Angelo?
Nope. And we are teleporting out of there. Let's get somewhere out in the open where I am not in an enclosed space where I'm a threat to them and they can deal with me a little bit easier. So I guess we are gonna shift out into the courtyard area we were before.
You teleport, and you assume the courtyard, and you appear right behind Nikolai, and you grab him by the head.
Oh, shit.
Roll the most damaging thing you got against him on touch there.
Oh.
That is vampiric touch. And I pray that this does not 18.
Do I have an
Does
opportunity
18?
to make a bonus action? Because I can cast something instantaneously.
It's counting as a surprise attack.
Okay. Okay.
18 to hit.
Uh-huh.
That barely hits me. Unless he has disadvantage because the ace is there now.
Actually, yeah, Ace would give you disadvantage.
Okay.
As tired
Then
as Ace is.
that is a 13.
Alright, you don't hit.
Oh, I am so sorry, bud. As you reach out to grab it, Ace grabs the wrist, looks at you, goes, "No," and punches you in the sternum, Angelo.
Ooh, this is scary.
For 36 points of damage directly to the sternum.
How many?
36.
I'm still standing. Yeah.
You could just
Rolled
feel
it.
your sternum crack and break, and you can feel the ribs just... A few pieces of rib just instantly turn to powder in your chest
Oh,
as you go tumbling out of the room against the banister.
I've got an idea. In my satchel, take out the box of magic cigars and use the black one.
Mongo, what are you doing, bud?
Stealing his idea. He just bamfed out and tried to do something. Well, two can play that game. I'm gonna Misty Step right fucking behind him. Bonus action. No, I want to hit him in the face with this one.
Yeah, I would say Misty Step would be bad because you would be in thin air 2 stories up.
You know, like, can I Misty Step somewhere to hold on to something? That way I'm, like, right there in front of him?
Yeah, his back is against the banister and his front is facing the doorway he was just knocked out of.
Oh, okay, then I'll, Misty Step to the banister that he's on. So that way I'm, like, right beside him. And then action. Now, I know what I want to do. Tell me if I can. I'm going to Eldritch Blast him, try to aim for the upper part, but I also want to mix it with Prestidigitation to make it smell like garlic.
Go for it?
Go for it?
That is oddly specific, and I feel attacked.
Well, I just rolled a 21 on that, so...
That definitely hits.
Look, we haven't actually established if the garlic actually does anything to the bloodsuckers in this world. But I
You're trying
assume
to
at some
find
point in time, Mongo may have heard the stories, so we're going with it.
out.
Haven't used this one for a little bit. I think I got 3 blasts of those. On a hit. So yeah, that's a 6
6 points
damage
of
at
damage.
least. Yeah. Sorry, I haven't used this one for a while. But yeah, if I can make it smell like garlic, I totally will.
You're suddenly just smattered with the smell of garlic, Angelo. And it just instantly ignites your sinuses like pure capsaicin powder in the air.
Fun.
I guess I'll let go of the banister and try to move away.
As you move away, you can see that there's another being growing out of Angelo, starting to consume him. Angelo, your body's starting to become withered away and losing its muscle mass, and it's almost becoming basically a withered corpse of what you should be. Whatever this thing is, it's eating away at you is starting to accelerate. Cayenne, do a nature for me, and you'll have advantage on this one. Mongo, do an arcana for me. Come on, Angelo, do something.
19.
19.
Holy crap,
Holy
Tom.
shit. I think I just rolled a natural 20.
Yeah. Cayenne, you pause for a moment as you realize that after the combat and the exhaustion, you overlooked a detail. The toe that Biddy was chewing on was never gotten rid of.
I knew that was going to be a problem.
Of course you would know. Fucking toe.
And you realize what is possibly happening. Mongo, as you get away, you instantly realize what happened is that toe is now possessing your comrade there and taking him over to rebirth, essentially, the Archfey.
Oh. Do you guys remember how Biddy ate a toe? It's growing back.
I was wondering if that would be a problem. What do we do now?
Let me see that rope.
Yeah, toss you an end.
Yep.
You tie him up? Cut it out?
Something like that.
All right.
Cayenne, you would know that these things are usually resolved by the purity of fire.
Burn it off.
Burn it.
Mongo,
Don't tempt me with a good time.
I am so sorry that you just got hit like an extra in an anime.
Oh god.
So as you catch the rope from Nikolai and you turn to look over, your right hand wrestles that hammer away from you, Angelo, and brings it around and put shots Mongo clear across the balcony into the other wall for 22 points of damage.
Oh, damn.
Fuck.
That's more necrotic.
And you hit the wall on the other side of this building. You can feel the entire building shake from the force that he hit the wall. And lands on a couch on the first floor.
Appreciate the couch.
Appreciate the guy. No shit.
And, Angelo, you hear from, the face that is now growing out of you. You know you enjoyed that as much as I did. It shut that little rodent up.
I'm gonna target that face. And we are going to cast Guiding Bolt.
Did you share with us fire, Cayenne?
Yeah, she said burn it.
Okay. That I can do.
You're attacking yourself.
Oh,
there,
I've got a
Angelo.
fun idea.
What's your idea?
That's
I'm
metagaming,
telling-
asshole.
But yes, I'm attacking the face. And since she shared that fire is the best way to do this here, I'm transmuting this into fire. For a 17 to hit myself with my armor class of 16.
Roll damage.
It's gonna hurt.
For 15 fire damage.
Since you are undead, that jumps up to 30 points of damage, and you see Angelo just instantly go up in a blaze.
I am down. But hopefully I bring this fucker down with me.
Angelo is currently ablaze, laying there on the ground.
So does
It's
that mean
probably
it smells like roasted garlic?
I should have cast Death Ward upon myself first. Oh well.
Isn't that a concentration spell?
I believe it is.
You can't quite concentrate when you're unconscious.
He can
Remember,
still try.
Manny can.
Actually, no, it is not a concentration. But it don't matter. I didn't cast it. Therefore, I am unconscious.
And as you sit up on the couch, Mongo, you see Alice, and she comes over and she pulls something out and she brings it right down into the fire, stabbing Angelo straight through the heart.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
And she
That's not
twists
good.
it slightly, and you can hear the wood break from the blade on the other side of his body as she pulls it out,
Yeah.
standing up.
Well, I think he's dead.
I'm pretty sure, because that's the tried and true method to kill a vampire.
And Nikolai,
Yeah?
do an investigation.
All right, let's do an investigation.
Getting off the couch and heading my ass back upstairs.
It would be a 25.
Well, it's a good thing I have backups of the backups.
As you're watching this happen, you can see Alice there. The wisp of fire just kind of make her hair dance a little bit. You look at what she just used, and you recognize it from the diagram that she just used the Vorpal blade on Angelo, severing his heart in two.
And
Oh shit.
I know what this Vorpal blade does, right?
Yeah.
He's dead, guys.
Well,
This
She
this
just...
pure, this pure blade that has a pattern of stars along it. You see her just look down at the body without even so much as a hair on her face.
This is fine.
I guess continue the fire to complete the cremation. He's just gone. As far as I know, it's like that's like anybody got a wish?
Angelo,
Yes.
Goodbye.
you before you open your eyes, you smell flowers. Beautiful flowers. And as you open your eyes, you look up and you're laying in a bed of flowers, looking up at the sky. And you can hear birds and other things around you. Not the dark embrace that you were promised by your lord, but something else.
Well, that really fucking hurt.
And you
Oh god,
hear,
is Angelo in his version of hell?
And you hear a voice before a finger touches your lips, Angelo. Language, my boy, language. Oh, blessed language. And as you look past your vision coming into focus, Angelo, you see this absolutely beautiful being before you. This finely carved face, this hair draped around over them, almost golden, and these beautiful silver eyes looking at you, and these long pointed ears that have a lot of jewelry dangling. Cayenne, as you're standing in the room looking at this funeral pyre, you can see the break in the realities because of your divine nature. You can see that there is this almost like overlaying two images with each other of the divine realm that Angelo's been pulled to, and this being speaking to him. It's out of focus, but you can see what is happening. That there is another god that is speaking to Angelo in his death. And because you're in the presence of it, you can see a little bit of it.
So I can just see that this being is an elf of some sort.
A fae or an elf of some sort, and they are speaking to Angelo in his death. And this figure stands up before you, Angelo, and you look up, and they're completely naked except for the jewelry they have on and the hair that is draping them. And it hits you that they are more beautiful than the Lord of Dread. And they hold out their hand. They're like, "Come, boy. I'm not going to offer you. You have a spark, and I want to talk to you."
My apologies for the language, madam.
Madam? Oh, I'm not a madam. And you look down and you see that they're well hung.
Sure. And I will get up, look around.
They're like, well...
Where am I? What just happened?
They just clap their hands and you're standing in the temple. You can see dozens of beds and you can smell incense. You're in my divine realm. You died. You had a little bit of spark in that cold, dead soul of yours. And they go over and they caress your chin. They're like, oh, I want to warm you up even more. But that's later, not now.
Right then.
I have an offer for you, my boy. A very interesting offer. You're dead. And your lord has been rather naughty with your doings of late. I'm willing to give you a fresh start on life. And a choice when you come to death.
I don't know how to respond. I think he just stares in just confused silence.
Generally speaking, when someone offers you a choice, especially of a divine nature, you respond.
I do apologize, but I quite frankly have no idea what's even happened. Aside
Well-
from, well, dying, and now I'm here. Not where I expected to be. And I'm being offered a choice of which I have no idea what said choice is.
Okay. Since, I mean, death kind of rots a lot of elements, perhaps your brain is one of them. That's a whole different subject. So, with your recent exposures within the realm of the Fae, and let's just say those exposures kind of jump-started the spark of life in you, and it happened to just catch my interest. Like a sheet rising in the morning.
Oh.
So, I waited patiently for you to die, and now I'm here to offer you a choice. A second go at the option of life, so to speak.
Explain. You have my curiosity.
I'm willing to bring you back before undeath got you, and you can live out your entire life as a mortal with benefits. And then, when it comes time, you will plant one or two flowers. And whichever flower you plant gets to decide whichever god gets to lay claim to. Him or me. You will be a servant of mine up until that point, and I will provide you with gifts. You will get to experience life to its fullest raging nature, and the other side of the coin that you didn't get to experience because of him.
I assume by him you mean Lord Victor.
Whew. He gives me the chills. Tried to court him once, and oh, he declined. He's just a wet paper towel.
Hmm.
You won't have any of your disabilities that you had before. You'll be whole. But as of
This
now,
is a very difficult choice to make here for someone who's been incredibly loyal.
but it also brings up the question of like, loyalty got you killed.
Hmm.
Look, it's quite simple. You either suck the dick of death or you suck the dick of life.
Oy. Hey.
I'm giving you a chance to experience all the things you don't get to experience because of your death. I'm giving you a chance to see the other side of the fence that you would have gotten to possibly see if it were not for the intervention of him.
I imagined you would be most displeased.
And then he can come knock on my door and complain like every other twat.
Very well. At first you had my curiosity, but now you have my full attention.
Is that in the morning you shall rise anew from the dirt and ash, like a phoenix reborn, under my servitude?
Who are you? What is your name?
My name is Orpheus, a fey god of life. Sometimes debauchery, a lot of the times debauchery.
You're gonna have to send that to the chat because I have no idea how to spell that.
Yep.
But okay. Very well. I will entertain this. Not like I have much of a choice anyways. I am dead after all.
Oh
Well,
no.
It would be interesting to see what the other side of the coin is like.
Within a few hours, you're going to be very much alive. And they give you a kiss on the forehead, and you're just suddenly thrust into darkness.
Okay.
Poor Manny is like, what the fuck?
What just happened?
So that's 3 now. 3 of your characters have died. 2 of them in one campaign.
There you go, Manny. So, Alice looks over at you guys.
Did you have to do that?
She speaks as coldly as she always does. He was a threat. I handled it.
Well, guess we see how this happens. Hopefully we can get our brother back.
Won't be needing that rope now, thanks. Gonna have fun with this.
And, Cayenne, you couldn't make out what actually happened, but you saw this deity speak to Angelo on the other side, and you guys noticed that Cayenne has just been kind of standing there with an eyebrow probably raised the entire time. And Alice just puts her blade away and rolls the corpse over with a foot and drops a tapestry on it to put the fire out and watches the tapestry mostly go flat. And she's like,
That's interesting.
So, how bad's Mongo hurting right now?
Mongo got a second chance to get his revenge and got yeeted out the fucking building practically. So yeah, he's not real thrilled right now.
Damn.
Yeah, I do
Just
apologize
gonna
about.
transmute that rope into a fucking chain and just, well, remember that Dolph Lundgren part in the beginning of Expendables?
yeah.
Yeah.
Hang a pirate?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna get Ace's help with that. Turned that into a iron chain. Would have been fun.
Would have been fun.
And slowly set things on fire.
Ace motions that he's going back to bed.
All right, buddy. Thanks for the help again.
Alice just moves a little bit and she's like, I'm going to go.
Cayenne, you look confused.
You do see Alice head off.
I thought I saw something.
Care to share or later?
Angelo might be alive. I don't know. We'll find out in the morning.
Okay. Any of
I don't know how else to explain it.
That works perfectly.
I don't know how else to explain it to y'all. It's Angelo may or may not be alive. I don't know.
Look under the
We'll find out in the
tapestry.
morning.
It's ash.
Wanna do
It smells like burnt garlic.
wanna do an identify on it? Maybe we can get some answers.
I don't know if you want to identify this guy. That's a lot of fucking pent up trauma over a century.
I would. No.
So, you guys are able to return back to your rooms, get back to sleep. Cayenne, did you give a healing potion to Biddy by any chance?
Yes, because that was the main thing I was trying to do. I was trying to do like medicine on Biddy because like Biddy was actually like bleeding and injured, and at the time Angelo was not, so I was going to Biddy who was injured.
Biddy sleeps on your pillow, just passed out, conked out. Little.
I would have definitely been taking the time to make sure I find like stuff for Biddy to like eat while they heal because
Almost like
poor little bat's been through shit.
Almost like little alpaca sounds coming from it as snores.
Oh,
Tell me that is not adorable.
Definitely sounds like it.
I love alpacas.
The morning comes and you can smell the morning feast outside from the table as light enters each of your rooms, waking you up. Mongo, you wake up and you look in your hand and you have the equivalent of what would be a medieval hardtack Pop-Tart for a sandwich.
I'll try it to the point of not breaking a tooth.
There's no way you're getting through this rock of a sandwich.
Damn.
Soak it.
I'm guessing each of you are going to go down for breakfast. Cayenne, do an investigation for me.
Okay, I guess I'm wide awake this morning. That was a natural 20.
You wake up and you look over at the pillow where Biddy was sleeping, and they're just now this pink, and all their fur is now snowy white.
Little albino bat.
Little Honduras bat.
And they open their eyes, they're just like this bright little pink eyeballs.
Biddy?
And they just instantly do their typical rap.
Even less intimidating now.
My hands are going out like this.
And they climb on your hands.
I'm giving them little smooches on their head.
They just kind of they make little bat chirping sounds as you do, never having experienced such love before.
I'm so happy you're okay. Let's go get food.
Food. No more toast.
No more toes.
Yeah, no more toast. No more toast.
Angelo,
Yes.
you find yourself waking up once again in another flower patch, completely naked this time.
Huh.
And you can feel the sunlight on you and look up as a few leaves fall from the tree.
How does it all feel? I imagine very different from before.
Yeah. You can actually, as you lay there and you concentrate a bit, you can actually hear your heartbeat. And then the smell of food from somewhere hits you and your stomach grumbles.
Oh, that's a new feeling. Alright. Time to get up and go ahead and stand up and see that I'm naked. I'm gonna try and go ahead and conjure up my clothes like I normally would.
Nope. Nothing happens. You snap your finger and you're still naked.
Well, I'm gonna find the closest thing that'll be large enough to cover with. Like a leaf.
Just
or
need a
something.
leaf. Just a little leaf.
No, we left Leaf at home.
Make my way towards the sound of whatever's going on, and
As you guys start partaking in the tea party and the breakfast, you guys are about halfway through eating your delicious breakfast. You see Angelo come walking into the space, and he has a piece of bark covering his unmentionables.
Huh.
Huh.
I don't suppose you happen to have a spare change of clothes. It seems that mine are no longer available to me.
And the food
So
smells
we always
absolute-
figured your bark was worse than your bite.
Hmm.
The food smelled absolutely amazing to you there.
That smells so good. I think I'm alive. Like, actually, properly alive.
Huh. Well, go put some clothes on. Your stuff is still in your room, right?
I don't have any.
Huh.
Everything that I had, I was able to conjure up, but I seem to have lost all of my power.
Aw, did you upset poor Vicky?
Cayenne, do a perception for me.
I got a 12.
You look over at Angelo as you're sharing some fruit with Biddy, and around his neck you can see the holy symbol of a different god than Victor.
I am glaring at it as I'm feeding Biddy a raspberry.
It's,
I'm
you can
trying
see
I'm
that
trying to
it's-
figure out what it is
you
without
can-
grabbing it.
Yeah, you can make out the details of what looks like to be thorny vines that are intertwined in like almost like a circle with a darker piece of wood in the middle that is carved like a flame.
I'm gonna make a mental note of that to research that later. Or I'll probably just ask Angelo later when we're not eating and stuffing faces.
I'll check my junk drawer for, like, I don't know, something he can wrap around him. At least.
You're gonna open up at the junk drawer?
Yeah, sure, why not? See if I can find, like, some type of tablecloth or blanket or potato sack or anything.
You draw an item from the junk drawer.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm concentrating and just testing to see if it does anything. For something that would work to wrap around a human's torso. Like I
think
said,
that
a
might be something
tablecloth,
Cayenne's gonna learn to do.
like a tablecloth or a sheet or blanket
Wow.
or potato sack or.
The chat is spicy tonight. Every patron needs a magic Nepo baby.
Woo!
Jeez. There is no chill from the side of the chat. Nikolai,
Yes.
you reach in said junk drawer. Please make note of this.
Okay.
Should probably make a note of this too because I'm the one that's doing it.
Huh, thanks. Appreciate it. What'd I do? Pull out like some type of man-eating plant or something?
Could be funny.
Could be.
All right, you ready for this?
Sure.
You pull out a potato sack, and you look at it because it's weighty, and you see it flop down a little bit and hit the table. And you open it up, and you quickly close it, Nikolai, and pull the cord tight, as a rotten potato lunged at you, and all you saw is its open mouth was filled with rows of teeth.
Shit! We're gonna have to deal with what's in the bag, but you can have it. There's like some killer potatoes in here.
And you hear from in the back, feed us, feed us, feed us. We are mini. Legion, feed us. Meat.
Now I'm curious. Just look around, is there any meat?
I have an idea.
Oh no, Cayenne has an idea.
You should probably hold on to that sack for when we need to go against somebody.
Ah. I guess
They're hungry and they want meat.
Yeah. Huh.
Opportune time to give them what
Yeah.
they look for.
Sure. But I was hoping to get something to wrap around Naked Boy over there.
You see Hatter stand up and walk towards you, Angelo. Isn't this interesting? The dead die, the dead die again, the dead come back. Everything's a little topsy-turvy with you, isn't it? And he hands you something to cover yourself with, Angelo.
I will take it, and thank you, Hatter.
You're welcome, but you're also unwelcome. You're late for tea time.
Right.
Thank-
This whole interaction with him not having clothing gave me an idea of something Cayenne would actually do, would actually
Oh?
learn to do.
What's that?
Actually spinning wool to be able to make thread, to make clothes.
That'd be pretty awesome.
That would be pretty dope.
Could you imagine a druid who had their own wool making business, and it was basically a couple of druids.
That
They
would be
took
pretty
turns becoming either an alpaca,
Yeah.
a sheep, or a goat.
And shearing
They
their
were
shearing their
sheared,
fur.
and they ethically sourced their own wool,
That'd be kind of cool,
never
actually.
using supply.
Yeah, but the
Pretty good.
question is, if they do that and they go back to their normal form, would they then have like no hair on their head?
By technical terms, they would just be back to normal.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So, what are you doing, Angela? Starting to nom nom?
Okay, well, after putting the clothes on, I'm gonna go ahead and actually eat something for once.
It's just a pair of shorts.
Better than nothing.
You guys could talk amongst yourselves.
So what the hell happened to you?
Well, I died. I met a god.
Obviously.
Which one? Just we have a tendency to talk to a few.
Yeah.
Someone by the name of Orgios. A debaucherous soul. Apparently, they found me interesting and they saw a spark, and they made me an offer that I couldn't refuse.
Okay. So
Uh,
you go to somebody else's realm and they have like power over your soul, even though your Lord of Dread already owns it?
Cayenne.
Apparently, I was pulled there.
Cayenne, you could do your god ability to see if you can make sense of what is being talked about.
So when you saw Cayenne through the goggles, did that like really awaken something in you? Because that's our sister, bud.
Was it advantage on the deity logic?
Yeah.
That's an 18.
Damn.
As Mongo says that, it pops into your head that the massive exposure to gods all at once basically rekindled a part of his soul.
Well, part of his soul was rekindled essentially. All because he's had this so much exposure to
Huh.
different deities. So there you go.
Oh fuck! Do you have any idea what this means? We can't call him Fangface anymore.
Huh. So, like, him witnessing the divine directly restored some of his soul, and when he died, that was a soul free for the taking?
Pretty much.
Huh. Well, there you go. You are no longer under the control of the Lord of Dread. How's that make you feel there, Angelo?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, your new god gave you a second chance at life. That's not too bad to say.
Not at all.
What has the Lord of Dread given you?
Other than a garlic allergy.
The food, Angelo, is absolutely amazing. It's a life-changing experience on things you missed out on.
I feel different. And I'm sorry, but this food is amazing.
So he got restored as a foodie.
Restored as a foodie.
And quick, get him high and introduce him to Taco Bell.
Alrighty. It's like, so, want to identify this sack of killer potatoes, Tom or Mongo?
I'm sorry. What the fuck did you just say?
Sack of killer potatoes. Look, open it up a little. Look in there.
One of them lunges at you, Mongo.
I react appropriately.
I have a sack of killer potatoes. This
I
is
guess
weird.
I try to scratch killer. It's a whole lot of words I never thought I'd fucking say.
Look at them; they're vicious looking.
You know what? Fuck it. I go out to the window and I start looking to see if there's some dude with a parachute running by.
You're already outside. You're at the giant long table for where they have the tea parties.
I look around to see if there's some guy with a parachute running by.
There is not a guy with a parachute running by.
Okay.
But you do see a few shrubbery run by.
This place is weird.
This place might be a bit too weird for me.
First, we watch a vampire get roasted, then he comes back as a naked dude.
Well, I mean, what else would he come back as?
I guess so, yeah. The fact that he came back at all is kind of crazy. Remember, Angela, don't drink the tea.
I'm just.
Right.
Well, then again, I mean, if he's running with a god of debauchery, maybe he should?
I now have. Seeing. Well, what I could see of who spoke to you. It now makes me more curious about your family's chosen deities and your family's history.
To be honest with you, I don't know much in terms of that.
You know what? That kind of gives Mongo an idea. Speaking of seeing things, goggles.
The reason I say that is because the deity that basically called out to you to like claim to you is a Fey deity.
Right.
It really makes me curious about your family's history now. Also, the players asking this, was it ever discussed if Angela was like elf, dwarf, human, halfling, or anything?
So Angelo was human.
Okay.
Mongo,
By the time he had... Oh, go ahead.
You get flashbang by Cayenne's godliness.
Yeah, I'll try to look away.
What do you see on Angelo?
He looks normal.
Just regular, standard ass Humie.
Yep.
No, like, can't tell.
The
Like,
the
the wiggly fingers would look a certain way.
Yeah, the normal necrotic like this that you would see is now replaced by kind of almost like a divine version of it.
Huh.
And that's weird.
What's that?
He's kind of normal.
Huh. Kind of normal?
Kind
Well, I mean, he's running with us, so I mean, there's really.
Yeah, got a point there.
you do pick up that this entire breakfast session, once again, Alice and the Cheshire have been absent from it.
Huh. I wonder. Do you have any spells like detect or protection from like evil or detect evil or anything there, Mongo?
Give me a moment. Break out the old spell book and start looking.
Well, do ya, punk?
Well, do ya?
Spell book. Not from what I'm seeing, but I might have an idea. I have to read things.
Okay.
You're asking Mongo to look stuff up. He's going to be a minute.
Breakfast is more or less settled, and at this point, you guys can disperse and do other things or interact with other people as you would see fit. Cayenne, where are you going?
I think Cayenne might try to reach out to that deity.
Yeah, you'll be able to head to your room and do a prayer to reach out to him. So if you would like, you can do that and do a religion roll.
What do I know that I have on me would be appropriate when praying to them?
You would actually, from what you saw from the symbology, a piece of bramble might be a start, but you're not 100% sure. So, that would be a good start.
Just pick up the phone and dial.
Be respectful, you little shit. I may be a deity, but I'm still gonna be respectful, motherfucker.
Like, yo, what'd you do with my colleague here?
Where did you touch him?
It's like, why couldn't you return them with pants on?
Actually, are we? We're near an area where there's plant life, yeah.
Plenty of plant life.
I'm going to actually, before I pray, I'm actually going to go out to find either a flower or a piece of vine.
Do a nature.
That, yeah. I want to see if I can find something botanical that catches my attention, and that was terrible. That was a 1.
That was a 1.
Yeah.
You
Fan
get to
get
your
lost in
room
the face.
and you head out of your room, and you immediately clock your hip bone, bouncing it off of the doorknob.
Oh, all done that.
And then, as you stumble a little bit, you spill Mongo's cup of tea that he usually has ready for study.
I
Mongo,
am so
you are
sorry.
now covered in tea along the front of you.
I'll try to prestidigitate it back into a cup.
It's got a few cat hairs floating in it now.
I can strain it.
Sorry, Mongo.
Yeah, it's alright. It's been kind of a weird day.
Very much so.
When are we gonna start getting used to that?
Never ever going to get used
I
to
don't
that.
think there's going to be a way for us to do so. Especially not if you follow in the domain of an acquaintance of ours.
That doesn't exactly narrow it down very much, unfortunately. We're acquainted with a few. And at the looks of it, we may be getting acquainted with yet another one.
I would say the weird is definitely par of the course if you follow Alice.
And that just you kind of feel a little bit of unhingedness creep in as you mention her name. Almost kind of like someone walking over your grave.
There it is. Oh, there it is. We're just gonna. Nope. Mm-mm.
That the effects of her madness is still lingering. That
Yeah.
unease that Victor could never even accomplish, even if he tried his hardest.
Yep.
Dread is not badness. Madness. It's different.
Madness is a beast that you can't truly ever control. You can't even come close to hoping you can.
Unless you are the god of madness.
Exactly.
Then you just take some with you.
But yeah, you and Mongo can chat a little bit.
I don't suppose you know what to, Nikolai's new pet? What the fuck are we supposed to do with carnivorous potatoes?
So, my idea, since they said they want meat, is we could technically hold on to them for if we so happen to have someone try to steal from us. on the way in our travels, or if we just so happen to come across an enemy and they decided to be trouble, we can unleash them.
Like, stick their head in the bag?
Mongo, do a wisdom for me. Sent you an important message I forgot to send you, Cayenne.
Wisdom. Natural 20. Plus 2.
Okay.
Mongo,
done.
as you pause for a moment, you realize something. And it tickles a mischievous bone in your body that excites you and causes your tail to go crooked a little bit.
Oh shit.
From an airship, you can cast enlarge on the potatoes and drop them on unsuspecting enemies.
What happens if I use the mushroom spell on them?
Who knows?
Who knows?
I haven't tried using the mushroom spell on anything else.
But there you go. I put that idea in the universe.
There's a
for
certain
you.
kingdom that we don't like. That could get rid of a few problems.
Hungry potatoes, go after kingdom. What could go wrong?
A whole different kind of potato man.
Diabolical. And you guys say Angelo's evil.
Hey,
I think
we're
you said
working on
Angelo's evil.
balance. We've done a lot of good. Now it's time to play the other side.
So there's a couple things Nikolai would be doing at this time, if I may.
Yeah.
First, he would go ahead and use identify as a what's it called? A
Ritual.
ritual. And just identify the sack of potatoes. The sack, not the killer potatoes, just the sack. So just concentrate on the sack of the sack they're in. See if there's anything special about the sack.
Nikolai, you discover, make a note of this,
Okay.
as long as there are potatoes placed in this, they will multiply and keep their numbers up. Feeding the meat to the potatoes will bolster their ranks.
Okay.
And they will essentially enter a piranha-like frenzy.
Nice. So the sack is literally just a burlap sack.
Yep.
Huh. Okay. Nothing. It keeps them contained. Alrighty. Alrighty. I will find our gracious host, the Mad Hatter. I think he's the one that prepares the feasts and everything, or at least has a hand in it. And ask him if he has a burlap sack I can have. I'm willing to bargain.
Cayenne, you can continue your conversation with Mongo as you're there on the balcony and on the inside of the giant mushroom. There's still some scorch
Mad
marks
Hatter,
from the.
I've come to bargain.
There are still some scorch marks from the deceased Angelo in the shape of his body.
Huh.
So if we try to fix that, is that going to do something to former things?
Who knows?
This is weird. I keep smacking the shit out of that camera. Stay still.
Nikolai, you do find Hatter eventually discovering his quarters, and he opens the door and invites you in, you can see tables with spools of tools and cloths and drapery and all sorts of bubbling chemicals and other things. And you pause at the doorway and you're like, you quickly put a cloth over your face. You're like, this is not safe to breathe for me.
I'll put my mask of air breathing on and turn that on.
You're like, this is not safe for me at all.
The only thing that's allowed through that mask is oxygen. Hatter?
Mouse with the name of Nicholas.
I've come to ask for some assistance.
An assistance you shall have if it is available. But it depends if it's available or if it was formerly available.
Understandable. Would you happen to have a burlap sack? Or a ream of burlap that we can fashion a well-made sack out of. It is a gift. It is for a gift.
He looks over at you. Burlap is beneath my pay grade. However, I do have silk and I can fashion a wonderful sack from it.
I don't know if that'll work, though. Because I'm trying to contain some of these as I lift the bag up. And they're being held perfectly well by a burlap sack. I don't know if we should risk putting them something that's not a burlap sack.
I only work with the finest of materials that are available to me.
Okay. Who does the cooking here then? Mayhaps they have a burlap sack available.
Not entirely sure who and when the cooking is done. However, it is usually promptly done and appears on the table.
So no cook per se.
Perhaps he walks over to his spool and he unrolls it. You can do a perception.
Perception?
Or do a tinkering, Nikolai.
Okay. That would be a 22.
He unrolls a spool a little bit and you look at it and your skin crawls a little bit, Nikolai, as you realize it's flesh of some sort turned into almost like a suede-like leather.
Alrighty.
Leather created from the finest of cards.
Alrighty. Having spent some time with my mother, who's a fantastic cook, are potatoes stored in leather?
A leather sack could work if it's strong enough.
And leather would be stronger than... But no, they want flesh. Leather's flesh. I don't think that'll work.
I could see what I can weave together for this. It'll take me a little bit of time to produce a subject matter that works well enough for the needs that you have. However, I could also not produce the subject matter that you need or fit the needs that you need.
Well, let's discuss a reciprocal payment here. What works for you, sir?
Any material can work for me. It depends on how flexible you are. Are you as flexible as a straw, or are you as flexible as a fine needle?
I don't know. I'm not one of the, I don't do much sewing, sir. I don't know the details there.
Then leave me to my work, and I will see what I can produce.
Thank you kindly. I will take my leave and go find Mongo.
Not hard to find Mongo as you head back to your guys' mushroom, and you can hear him talking to Cayenne on the upper balcony. You pause for a moment as you see one of the largest plush chairs. Biddy sitting in that chair with a notebook, scribbling things in it.
You said Nikolai sees this?
Biddy.
Yeah.
Biddy?
Biddy looks over, being that wonderful marshmallow pink color.
There's something different about you, good friend.
I have given up the darkness. I am the light. I will burn the shadows wherever they are. Hear me.
You are a fearsome little beast.
I am the day. I am the sunshine. I will enlighten the darkness within the hearts of those that are foul.
Oh God.
You shall be the beacon.
The answer to someone named Meridia.
Does their holy symbol happen to look like a oddly shaped golf ball?
Right now, I'm just seeing the shiniest, happy Batmans of all.
Oh, God. It's like if you gave Sandy Blonde a light pink hue. It's like if you gave it the tiniest little bitty drop of Pepto-Bismol. That's what I'm imagining.
Biddy is currently adorable.
So you said I hear Cayenne and Mongo talking?
Yeah, it's clear that they're upstairs talking to each other.
Go find them. In particular, Mongo. Mongo!
Hide me.
I can hear you.
Oh, fuck.
If Cayenne was a critter, she'd be doing, I guess, the toothless weird wing dance thing to try to hide.
So, hey, Mongo, buddy. Got a question for you.
Oh, what kind of weird ass shit did we get into this time?
Nothing yet. It may turn into something.
Considering our track record.
Well, okay. So, you know that I'm pretty sure you've gone on about your fantastic ability to change stuff from one thing to another thing. Is that permanent?
I've never had anything go permanent before.
Cayenne, are you gonna head off to do what you were originally gonna do?
Yeah.
So you can't quite turn turn a silk sack into a burlap sack, can you?
You can do your nature if you want.
Well, to be entirely honest, turning
Try to
silk into
attempt
burlap
that
seems a bit
again.
of a downgrade.
I have an idea though, and so I identified my sack of killer potatoes. The sack is
Still
just
getting used to that, but
the sack is just a sack, a burlap sack. Nothing special about
thought
it.
we were out of this stage of our lives. Now we got to hear about how you identified your sack.
Shush. And the absolute insanity of these things to me seems to be a good gift to give our gracious hostess. But I want to give her some, not all, because I want some. These could be
I'm
interesting.
sorry, the killer potatoes.
Yes, they're
Somebody's
fucking
been nice to us, and you want to say, here's something
here.
that may kill you.
Have this sack of killer potatoes. The madness is delicious.
What the fuck happens to you if you eat a killer potato?
I don't know.
I don't know if that's something you want to find out.
For some reason, the flood from Halo pops in.
Yeah,
I
that sounds about right.
I just think the insanity of the thing fits very well to help our gracious hostess embrace her reality.
Okay.
Cayenne, as you head out and you start to explore the forest, you
Which I
find
had a
these,
modified 20, by the way.
you find these beautiful vines that come down from some of the trees, and as the light hits them, you can see the photosynthesis happen, where the flowers open up and become completely transparent with these almost like orange yellow boba seeds in the middle.
Interesting. I am going to try to see if I can make or find a receptacle for this plant so I can transplant it. Because I don't want to kill it if I pick it.
Yeah, you have various containers on you for such things. So you're able to just take one out and gently move one of the plants over to preserve it, and it just sparkles in the light almost so delicately that even you enjoy the presence of it.
I know someone who will enjoy you and take very good care of you. I am taking Pretty Flower to my room.
All right. What about you, Angela? What have you been up to?
Trying to figure out what happened to me and what I can and cannot do.
Well, you do discover that you are very human and that eating too much food does give you a stomachache. That you're now exposed to the elements of hot and cold and other ones.
Let's see. Yeah, this guy is entirely different from the ground up. Okay. Let's experiment with magic. And oh, by the way, character sheet is in the campaign now, so you should be able to view it now.
Okay.
But I'm gonna experiment with see if I can do anything new this time.
What are you gonna do?
Let's see about trying to cast a spell.
What spell?
Well, let's see.
Think happy thoughts, bud.
Well, we're waiting.
We're waiting. One eternity later.
You know what? Let's go ahead and see what happens if he tries to cast daylight.
Cayenne, as you walk into the camp, it suddenly gets significantly brighter as you're practically flashbanged by Angelo.
Dude.
Dude.
It's so bright.
That tends to happen when you cast that.
And you hear the dormouse go, "Oh, holy shit, how bad am I tripping?"
Well, considering it's a 60-foot square radius, sorry, it's a 60-foot radius sphere that happens to be a bright ball of light with an additional 60 feet of dim light beyond that.
Yeah, no shit, you just flashbanged a few people.
You put a mini sun in the room.
There's a sun above the encampment.
The dormouse is like, "Holy shit, I see so many spots."
How do I dispel this?
Try casting darkness, see what happens.
You would know that he would just be able to just dismiss the spell.
Just dismiss it.
And I will do exactly that.
And the light returns back to normal, and the dormouse is like, "Oh, I see the holes in the universe, and they're black."
I'm now going to try and cast Globe of Twilight.
Yes, I know, Mars. I know. Crazy, huh? He casts daylight when it's already daylight.
What does that do?
So, you shroud the area surrounding you in a sphere of night sky dotted with stars, and the twilight conceals your allies but clearly illuminates your enemies. The area affected by the spell is lightly obscured by magical shadow.
Got it.
And
Cayenne,
basically, you just create constellations.
you're
Yes.
suddenly just plunged into midnight darkness.
Okay, I guess my vision is gonna be all sorts of fucked up now.
But yeah, basically we can now see the stars, the moons, and the galaxies around us, according to what the spell says that it does.
Angelo, as you look up and you see what you just did, you have revealed the twilight of the Feywilds. And you see the moon looking down at you, very angry about casting this spell.
Like I was not done sleeping.
And that just probably terrifies you to your core.
Probably, since I'm no longer immune to fear. Sorry! And I dispel it.
You look up briefly, Cayenne, and you can see the moon, unlike the material realm, very much has a face. And you can see the smaller moons floating around it have faces as well.
This is a really cool spell. Alright, we are dispelling that. Hopefully we don't have to get into any type of battles, so I'm gonna recover my spell slots here. Just in case. Using my magical cunning, regaining spell slot.
No, do you just leave Angelo and go to your room to get away from his newfound
Bullshittery.
bullshittery?
Leave him alone to let him discover his self by himself.
You know, I heard if you do that too much, you'll make yourself go blind. But I didn't think you could do it so much that you make somebody else.
So I can levitate at will. That is kind of cool, actually.
So wait a minute.
The celestial is kind of cool.
So as you head inside Cayenne, you head upstairs, and Mongo and Nikolai are still yapping to each other about potatoes.
How many potatoes do I have?
You haven't been able to open the sack safely enough to count them.
Okay, well I'll keep the sack closed, lay it as flat as I can, and kind of just like poke around to see how many I count.
Oh yes, piss off the killer potatoes by stabbing them.
I'm not going to stab them. Just feel each lump and how many lumps are there.
One of them attempts to bite you through the bag.
How successful was it?
Not very successful because you were like, fuck that. Per chat, put those taters in Cayenne's realm to add to the army, or in Osling's for her realm of torment.
Yeah.
You know, rotten potatoes in Cayenne's realm of torment just seems very fitting.
You mean Osling?
Or sorry,
You know-
Osling.
You know, I could see someone being thrown into a pit with those tater tots. They're eaten alive, and then just like the Kronos, they regenerate, and then they're eaten again the next day.
Oof.
That would suck.
Jesus.
Forever being eaten by angry taters. So, Cayenne, you're able to get to your room safely. What would you like to do in your room?
I would like to offer this plant while reaching out to Angelo's new patron. Would that
Yep.
be the right word?
Sugar daddy?
Sugar daddy, patron.
Not wrong, considering how warlocks work.
Benefactor.
The key holder.
The leash holder.
Cayenne got that one.
I sold 2 things that required keys today. And no, they were not a collar or handcuffs.
Ooh. Fun. I know exactly what you're talking about.
I do not, and I would thank you to keep me that way.
You do know that me and Jesse could do innuendos for an entire hour straight.
And I can end my side of the call within seconds.
So, do a religion with advantage there, Cayenne.
Beep bop.
Beep, boop, bop, beep, bop, bop. So, what are you doing, Mongo and Nikolai?
I'm trying to count the potatoes without, risking limb.
You count 3 without
Oh,
nearly
okay,
getting
pops.
bit to death.
Okay. And just giving them some meat will multiply them?
Yeah.
So Nikolai will share with Mongo what he found out about the sack of killer potatoes.
16.
Them in.
So, Cayenne, you suddenly smell beautiful flowers as you're pulled into the divine realm of this god. And you find yourself in this beautiful marble temple. And there's pillows everywhere with incense and other things that you can instantly surmise what they are. And you take a step and you pause for a moment and you look down. And I could probably feel the vein pop from here. You're dressed in very elegant harem clothing. And ahead of you on this illustrious throne with plenty of padding. You see the god of this realm as he's half slouched on it, completely naked. And he looks over and he's like,
Of course.
and he looks over and he's like, well, hello there, darling.
Oh my god.
And he is beautiful for a Fae, but you wouldn't expect anything less for a Fae god.
Right. Especially one that's over debauchery and life at the same time. It's literally like, oh, we're going to get into every bit of the positions and then some. Everything is on the table. No does not exist. Essentially.
So,
On it, under it, on side of it, involving it.
what brings you to my realm?
I know it was a private affair, and I did witness what you were able to do for a traveling companion of mine.
Oh, no kiss and tell, but oh, you are a peeping Tom. I like you.
Never been comfortable with that term.
I won't ask details, but I wanted to reach out to personally thank you. Given what I do know about their history and the person that I hate this wording so much, but it's unfortunately the only wording I have, lent Angelo for our services for protection and escort through the Feywild. I'm glad he's no longer under that dark curtain anymore.
He sits up
He didn't
slightly
deserve
and he's
it.
like, oh, he's an escort as well. I wasn't aware of that.
No. Not that kind of escort.
Oh. Got my hopes up a little bit.
He is not that kind of escort for us. For me and my brothers. He is purely a business associate for us.
So there is a chance.
He has been reborn and is no longer under a certain person's guidance. So, and you have given him new purpose. You have actually given him a choice, from what I understand.
I have. And once he gets to his pack, he'll find from one god to another. He will find 2 boxes, each one with a seed in it. A seed of darkness and a seed of light. And when he believes it is time, he will plant one of those seeds and that will decide his fate. Will he go back to tall, dark, and brooding and barbed dick, or will he come here and forever be happy?
I can only assume that he would choose the better of the 2 options. Although I am a bit worried about my brother, although it has been promised that no harm will come to him. Now I am a bit worried.
Well,
As I don't know how a certain someone with fangs will react.
well, as it is I that intervened, Victor can come to my temple and I will see how much I can get him to grovel, but he's not getting him back.
Abby shouldn't. Angelo was dealt quite a lot in his life, and he deserves a second chance.
He
Honestly.
stands up from his throne and walks over to you, and you get a full glimpse of his nudity that poor Angelo had to be exposed to.
Of course.
Look, I'm a god of life, and I believe in eternal goodness. And I believe love could solve a lot of problems and heal a lot of wounds. But, as you know, love can be scorned, and I will burn a motherfucker down.
Someone's wife has been scorned too much by somebody.
Oh, we like to gossip the tea.
She's very enjoyable company.
Oh, she's visited a few times to relieve some stress.
Why does this dude whole ass remind me of a cross between the yak and Zootopia and the Love Guru?
Oh my god.
Is what this deity reminds me of, but make them a fae.
Ah, Fae gods. They're special, everyone.
Fae gods. Yes. I don't have a clear explanation.
He's in good hands. I don't mean to harm a hair on his head. I'm pretty sure he'll carry out my will and eventually meet some of my disciples. And he will have to pray with them.
Oh God.
I know one thing he definitely needs to do is learn that he can't rely on spells for clothing.
Ah, that is true. He brings something up out of thin air and he holds it out to you, and here, give this to him. And it's it looks to be a white sheath to a sword, and you can see the sword. It's almost like a silver and gold. It's way gaudy for a sword. You're like, oh. It's beautiful, but it's gaudy.
Yeah.
He can use this.
I will exchange for the flower that I have.
He takes the flower and he looks at it and he smiles.
I saw this when I ventured out from my room. I wanted to find something suitable to bring to you as a thank you.
Did you know that these berries, yeah, people of normal size, they're fine. But berries, on the other hand, oh, they're such an aphrodisiac.
Huh. That's actually very interesting. So I have
And
to.
like,
So that would actually be. Would that be beneficial against a fairy that was causing you trouble? To distract them? You think?
oh, let's just say they find the hots for every other fairy within 100 miles, and they don't stop until it's out of their system.
No, that's
Oh,
pretty
good
funny.
lord.
Whatever
Talk
they're
about
doing,
raw.
whatever they're doing, they want to copy it.
This will definitely be. These berries will definitely be something that I will harvest and replicate later. Because that might actually be beneficial in the Feywild as a distraction.
Some fairies
Could you
actually.
imagine? Go ahead.
Some of the fairies actually distill this into an alcohol, and during the spring festivities of matrimony, they partake all of them. And well, let's just say, I'm a rather busy god at that point. My head's like, this god is special.
Oh my good lord.
Do you have any other business?
I'm gonna I'm gonna be out of pocket with this one. And this is gonna be funny. I'm not gonna lie. Given your domain, I really think that my brother Clyde could use some pointers from you.
Oh, which one?
All of them.
So he has an interest in a couple of individuals. I guess he more so just needs advice on what it means onto why and how he ended up laying with them and what it all means. Like the whole companionship thing, like breaking it down to the brass tacks, because I've tried to explain. Like, you had sex because you were interested in in these people.
Oh.
It's a good thing. We
Well,
tried to explain it in the most simple of terms, and he does not get it. He does not understand. And he also doesn't understand that there are individuals who have relations and don't have to suffer the consequences of offspring. He also doesn't understand that either.
well, I can reach out to my associate of the material realm to intervene and have a
Oh, God.
conversation.
I would absolutely love that. It would be so
Oh
welcomed and
my God.
appreciated, because I don't know any other like wording that I can give. Like, I don't know how technical or professional I can be, or how just stupid simple I can be to make it more of a clear picture.
Well, you're not a god of love.
It's true.
I'll put in a
Nature,
word and see what
justice, and vengeance.
happens.
Oh God. Oh my God.
Again, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm excited to see what happens with Angelo.
I'm excited to see what happens as well. And I am very glad that you found him.
I am glad that you were able to awaken the spark of his soul for me to pounce on like a very hungry cougar.
I think with that, I'm just gonna finish
Head
up
back.
any last little bits of conversation and then head out.
Yep. I'm gonna send you some information, Cayenne.
Okay.
Uh, what are you guys doing?
Well,
What
said
does? Go ahead.
he said I counted 3 potatoes, and that they reproduce if fed meat. But in their current form, they effectively keep their numbers at 3. So, what do you say, Mongo? Should we give him some meat and see how many we can get?
Perhaps try to put one into a pot, then throw some meat in, and see if that pot will stop them. Because you said it just seems to be a burlap sack.
Yeah, the burlap sack
Oh,
just holds
standard.
them, yeah. Yeah. Let's see if we can find a big pot. I like that.
Around here, you're probably going to have to be a lot more specific.
Funny.
You wander around for a while and do an investigation for me.
Oh no, I'm going to let him take care of that. I was going to head off and do something else.
All right.
While he does that, I'm curious to know, what does this god's form of mage armor appear to be?
A bedazzled cod piece.
David Bowie would be proud.
No, David Bowie would be embarrassed.
Bank would be jealous.
You summon the mage armor, and it appears to be like a platinum plate mail. And along the shoulder pauldron part, there's it almost looks like you have a cloak under it, but it's banners that are finely decorated and kind of glow a little bit in an unseen light.
Very gaudy. Gotcha.
Yes.
It was a natural 20.
Nice.
You find a cast iron pot that can fit Mungo in.
Does it come with lid?
It has a lid,
Sweet.
and it's a 1/4 inch thick.
That shithole a killer potato.
Mungo, what are you doing, bud?
Probably just head back to the room until I hear Nikolai screaming, stop eating me.
All right.
And work on unlocking the I guess the spell book that holds the secret of the Munchkin Feely Poke.
All right. Roll that sleight of paw. Cayenne, you are back in your room with the sword in hand.
Well, time to take this very gaudy gift to Angelo.
Match that gaudy armor.
As you go downstairs, you see the ethereal mage armor of Angelo and how gaudy it is.
Well, that gentleman certainly has very interesting taste in fashion. That's for sure.
Well, the Fae are very interesting individuals. But
He's jumping at you, sneaking up on him like that. He's not used to that. Usually it's the other way around. Okay. You are a very quiet one.
I can be. Also, this is yours. And I'll hand him the sword.
You take the sword and you realize, oh, this is my new weapon.
Okay. I shall go and add this. I shall remove my hammer. In its place, a sword. What kind of sword is it? A short sword, a long sword, a great sword, a rapier?
It is a long sword.
Okay.
And I sent you the name that pops into your head for the sword, whispered in your ear. Nikolai, you're now
Yes.
faced with a new issue that the lid is at least 2 pounds.
Yeah. Well, that I can handle. How am I even able to move the cast iron pot, like at all?
It does not budge. It is too heavy.
Are you sure that thing's a pot and not a French oven?
Dutch oven, you mean?
No, I mean like a French oven.
I've never heard that.
There is a
but-
difference.
Okay. Yeah, just holler for Ace's help. Ace, come help me, buddy, please.
Oh, I love that name.
Ace comes in and just picks up the pot like it's nothing.
Thanks, bud. You can bring this over to either my room or Mongo's room. My room, yeah. That way, if something goes wrong, it doesn't bother Mongo.
Ace walks through the main room carrying this massive cast iron pot past you guys.
Mongo, found something. Let's do this.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, I got a 26.
Shit. What was that roll for again?
Unlocking
Oh,
the
yeah.
spellbook bell.
You retrace your steps, but you don't get any further.
With a 26?
I know.
Fuck!
She's brutal.
It's the secret.
It's a secret.
It's very special.
Yeah, since I heard Nikolai call, I guess I'll pop my head over and ask if he's being eaten yet.
No.
Ace walks by carrying this giant cast iron pot that you can climb in, Mongo.
I don't think they're going to get through this, though. They can't get through the burlap sack. They can't get through this.
One would hope.
One would hope.
Angelo, Cayenne, what are you doing since you're there together?
I am going to take up the blade known as Piercing Love
Oh, God.
and channel it for a bit and attune to this as my new pact weapon.
Did Angelo become basically fucking Cupid?
No.
That would have been an opportunity for his weapon to have been a bow and arrow. That'd be fucking
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Or it could have been a giant purple placid object.
Oh, God.
Not too late to change it. Up to you.
A different
Pact
kind
weapon
of
can
club.
be melee or ranged.
Tom looks so uncomfortable.
Really? But considering somebody did get battered to death in a movie that I absolutely love by something that's long and cylindrical, I'd give points for reference. Not that my points mean anything.
Don't worry, when he gets a natural 20, it gets hard.
Oh, God.
Implying it's not now? At least it's not on fire, because then it'd just be burning love. Have to go to the doctor after he uses it.
Natural 20, it inflicts plague.
Oh god.
Oh god.
Oh God.
Natural 20 inflicts plague, or you have extra responsibilities all of a sudden.
No, that's natural 1.
Cayenne, where are you gonna hang around or are you gonna head off?
I'm gonna hang around for a little bit.
Okay. It's essentially the library area, so there's the various books. You see Biddy sitting in the oversized chair, scribbling in a book, which is adorable in itself. And the fireplace is going, and not much else is going on in this room. The broken mirror people seem to be spread out elsewhere. You have to go looking for them if you want to talk to any of them.
I'm just gonna find any kind of like books and things to read in my downtime.
Okay. You find one which is essentially kind of like Grimm's fairy tales.
I'll check it out.
A lot of fun cautionary, horrifying tales in that book. Mongo, Nikolai. You have Ace standing there holding a cast iron pot in the middle of your room.
All right, set it down there in the middle there, Ace, will you?
He sets it down and he almost strategically catches both of your guys' foot.
Hey. Alrighty, so
Taking cover,
I'm gonna drop one potato in there. You have any meat on you?
and just in case anything goes wrong, I am... What's the best way to get rid of a potato?
Fire.
Fire, probably. Yeah, hey,
Get
Mr.
ready to
Magic,
light shit on fire.
Mr. Magic Sandwich Maker, can you like come up with a, ham steak sandwich or something?
Right, you know I do that when I'm sleeping, right?
All right. Search my
I'll give it a shot, I guess. Try to
provisions. Wait,
try
which
to
one of us
conjure
has
up a
the chicken
sandwich
cube? Which one of us has the
that
chicken
I feel
cube?
like... That was Scavin.
Oh, shit. Damn.
I'll try to conjure a sandwich that I feel a killer potato would enjoy.
Meat. They like meat.
Roll an Arcana.
I will search my inventory for any meat provisions.
Investigation, Nicola.
Natural 20. Holy smokes.
Arcana, 28, modified.
Hey. That's pretty good.
You pull out Nikolai,
Yeah.
you pull out something and you realize it's a ribeye steak, and then your soul sinks a little bit into your stomach as you remember that you were going to share this with Wraith when she got back.
All
Why
right.
you gotta stab the man in the back like that?
Yeah. You
I
didn't
think
just
that's more a stab toward the heart region.
not just step on the middle of the bag. It was step on the middle of the bag, hold it back of here, and pull up. Odd.
Mongo, you focus and you concentrate, and you stick your tongue out slightly as you try to conjure a sandwich, and you open your eyes, and you have a bunch of that meat jelly you find in cans of Spam with chunks of meat in it.
Oh. I'm just gonna throw it towards the pot
It splatters
and then
into
try
the
to
pot.
clean. Oh.
The smell is haunting your hands.
So is this steak like magically cured or something?
It was wrapped in essentially wax paper that was intended to keep it fresh.
How much meat did Mongo get with his splattering there?
Probably about an ounce and a half.
I am cleaning. Just
All right.
You see Nikolai over there just struggling mentally, Mongo.
I was gonna have this with Reyes. And she got back. And is running a stupid experiment. Like, yeah, fuck it.
no, hang on to it.
Well, you know how we are. Doing the experiment is worth all the effort and the pain. This will be her and I's last experiment.
Well, just hang on to that one for right now, because we don't know what is going to happen. There's a little bit of, let's call it meat, in there now. If they have a whole lot of it, like all of that, they might grow out of control.
You hear what sounds like popcorn, and you hear maniacal giggling from in the pot as it multiplies into two. Like, tearing out of each other, the spud just ripping into two pieces violently.
Oh.
And now there's two spuds in there with many teeth they're smaller, but now there's two of them.
That's all we needed.
Yeah, see? There you go.
All right, we'll put the steak away. Okay. Yeah, so they will always maintain 2 or 3. There will always be 3 or more. Check my burlap sack. Is there a third one in there now?
The ones that the potatoes were in to begin with?
Yeah.
There were about 40 in there, buddy.
Oh, you only told me there was 3.
That you can see right away.
Oh, well, I was feeling around the bag. Okay. Well, yeah. Well, then I'll put a couple more in there.
And suddenly the potatoes start eating all the gelatin meat and start filling up the pot quickly.
Put the lid on. All right. Put the lid down and tie it shut with a rope.
Now here's a question. Are they only going to grow the number of that, like, they get a bit of meat, 1 becomes 2, but what if there's no more room for them to multiply?
Oh, I think since my bag hasn't overfilled, we're okay.
Ace motions and signs. It's like, why don't we take off the lid and find out?
Well, I'm just wondering at some point in time, are we going to have like a very angry, toothy mashed potato blob monster to fucking deal with?
I don't know. Sounds interesting, though.
There's a whole new meaning to the food fight.
We can get serious with a food fight now.
Because Cayenne and I came up with an idea too,
Yeah.
which just kind of proves that some of us have unhappy minds.
You feel a tinge
Alright.
of Alice's madness.
Suddenly
So-
feel a tinge.
Let's get crazy and actually, Mongo's going to start drawing the thing to ritual cast identify them.
Identify the potatoes.
All right.
This may be a bad idea.
Let's do this. I'll help him.
I gotta sit up.
I'll help you
I
there,
gotta
Mongo.
I gotta stretch a little bit.
I got a little bit of information. Basically, they self-sustain. But if you give them meat, they multiply.
What happens if you give them vegetables? What happens if you throw in another potato in there? What happens if you throw in a sweet potato?
No. So much experimentation we can do.
What happens if you throw in an orange?
What if you boil them in a pot of stew? You see my point? This like fits Alice and her crew. It's just insane.
You know, one of these days I would actually really enjoy it if we came across a problem. Okay, plain and simple, here's how the problem got started. Okay, we see where it's going, simple fix. And then everything is nice, neat, orderly, and not batshit fucking insane end of time. It's like, oh no, all you gotta do is just punch that one person in the junk, and problem solved.
So yeah, so Mongo and Nikolai are doing a deep dive identify on this thing.
Looks that way.
Let's do it.
Alright.
Do I need to figure out what my sanity is beforehand or after?
Angelo, do you stop being gaudy and just do something else?
Yes. I am going to go ahead and look for Biddy.
Biddy is currently sitting in the oversized chair, and you pause for a moment as you see they're pure white with a slight hue of pink, and their eyes are bright pink. And they look up at you and they're like, I am the sunshine. I burn the shadows.
You're very different is what you are. What happened to you, Biddy?
You got a bath, bud.
I saw the light. It was erect and I climbed it to its peak and embraced the sun.
All right. Well, you and I both have a bit of a different, difference it seems. So, Biddy, if you changed, I can only imagine that the others have changed as well.
And you see immediately their tears start pouring out of their eyes. My children were taken to
I-
death every time.
I know, Biddy, I know. And I give them a little pat on the head.
They start wailing in sorrow.
No more. I promise. But I do have a question for you, Biddy. When I brought you into this world, I was underneath an entirely different power. You probably no longer feel that pull anymore. So I have to ask, do you still wish to travel with me?
I shall travel with you. I shall be the light, the night of light, and you can be my morning bird. A sidekick,
Perhaps-
as you will.
How about we have some new friends join us for a bit? Nothing bad. Just a little bit of time to go ahead and get acquainted with the new family.
And nods a little bit.
And I'll hold out my hand to little Biddy so we can both channel Flock of Familiars to summon the new batch.
They're summoned, and you see each of them has a little dagger, like they're ready to respond to immediately. They've heard the regalias of stories of being instantly summoned and murdered.
Whoa.
Suddenly they're all back to back, ready to defend themselves.
Yes.
Leave them in your capable hands, Viddy. Or I guess wings. Pause? What do you have?
Biddy's gonna start a cult.
I have the tools to bring justice to the world.
Hello, minions. I will say this. Whatever it is that this little one here says, you are to obey their word.
Oh, we just started mini cult. So, the boys do identify on the potato.
Yep, deep dive. Getting all the details we can.
Be funny if I gave you the total history of the cast iron pot, because that's what's in the circle.
That would be funny, actually.
So, the identification, it takes its toll on you as you appear. And you're standing in a marketplace, and it's a bustling marketplace. Reminds you of Casil, but it's not Casil. And you see a Wiggly Fingers purchases some potatoes and some fruits and proceeds to head home and starts to prepare their dinner after a long, arduous day. And they take the single potato and they put it into the pantry in the very back, and time passes and they forget about it. Time carries on with this potato just sitting there, eventually growing its roots out, reaching out for some sort of substance. Dust grows, cobwebs form, the potato's forgotten. Time passes. The potato begins to brood about being abandoned by those that should have eaten it. And eventually grows its roots deep into the ground, reaching out, eventually finding a vein of magic to tap into. Soon, each of its rotten little eyes sprout actual eyes, and it speaks its first word, revenge.
Oh, God.
And the potato begins to utilize the understandings of the Wiggly Fingers that prepare food, and begins to learn how to multiply itself. Much wiggling, much struggling, much pain. It eats a rat. This rat provides the substance to multiply. It multiplies. Eventually, some stranger comes along and loots the house and takes the potato on their journey. Their first step towards vengeance on the walking kind that has forsaken the potato. Such a slur to this mighty being, a potato. It is no longer beneath them and should not be called a potato, as they are not a potato. They are more than a potato. And soon, the campsite finds out the ire of the strength and prestige of the potato and its minions as it produces, consuming each of the adventurers. The first step to vengeance, complete. The second step to vengeance, complete. Now what? The potatoes hatched a plan. They shall hide in a sack, act as any other potato would. And those that are unsuspecting shall come across the sack of potatoes and be deemed revengeable among the potato kind. And you guys find yourselves standing back in the room with the history
Of the sack of killer potatoes. Wow. So these potatoes are right up our alley of revenge.
Mongo, are you okay?
Just one quick question. What
What?
the actual fuck? Okay, so let me get this right. Just for my own. I don't even know what anymore.
Definitely not sanity, huh?
I, so somebody else who practices the arcane arts, such as myself, just acquired what was going to be dinner.
Got it,
Shit
madam.
happened. Didn't get to it. Got called away. Got dead. Got busy. Got anything else. And this apparently pissed off the potato. And now seeks revenge. That about sum it up?
About, yeah.
Was that tea? Might help at this point. Now, because what the actual fuck? I mean, okay, so in that one forest, we came across the. You chop them up, they just kind of stick themselves back together.
Oh, yeah.
Gremlin.
Vampire gremlin things, yeah. Goblin
Yeah.
things.
Those were
Bulbulbs?
made by a wizard.
Yeah,
Owlbears.
made by a wizard.
Actually, owlbears were
Killer
made by
potatoes.
owlbear door god.
Yeah, killer potatoes, made by a wizard. Yeah.
Maybe we should stop trying to make things. You know what? We came across the profane and divine classes. Maybe that's why they got banned. They're just making too much shit.
You guys hear a deep rumbling voice that shakes the lid of the actual cast iron pot. Potato.
Shit. Make sure that rope is tied tight.
Yes, potato. Okay, so they can also speak. That's fucking wonderful. That's fucking wonderful.
Make sure it's tight and put it into my bag of holding.
Yeah, before you do that, I'm gonna tap on the pod. It's like, what happens when you eat a regular potato?
Potato, tato, potato. Tato, tot, potato.
Yeah, cast comprehend language. Fucking, I'm burning the spell slot. What the fuck did they just say?
You suddenly understand potato.
Oh, good. Mongo runs off potato. That actually explains more than a few fucking things now, doesn't it?
This is getting insane.
And the potato says, "We are Legion. We accept all potato into potato kind. They will be accepted with open stem, open eyes, and gifted the maw of potato."
So they'll try to convert them. Got it. What about mushrooms?
Awesome.
They are not potato kind. They are seen as expendable.
What about yams? How do you guys feel about those? Just, sorry, I've never encountered ones such as yourself. I'm very.
What is a yam? Nikolai, you just hear Mongo going, talking in English, and you just hear from the pot, potato, potato, pot, pot, potato, potato. Various kinds of forms of, like, potato speech.
Potato speech. It's like, Mongo, are you
I
talking
will
to the
try
potatoes?
I will try to conjure a sweet potato.
You do realize they can't see it because the pot is closed.
We can change that.
I make sure you want to give them the sweet potato.
Well, I'm trying to summon or conjure a sweet potato. I don't know if it worked or not.
Okay.
You can you summon a image of one.
Fair enough.
And
And then we
want to show
just
them.
loosen it so that way they can like peek out but not get out.
Make sure all the doors and windows are closed and latched. That way none of these fuckers can get out.
And you crack the lid open?
And then crack the lid open, yeah.
You crack the lid open, and you see that
Yep.
the entire mouth of the lid was its mouth with rows of teeth. And you see it shift around there, this potato that is filling the entire inside of it. And you see dozens of eyes now looking at you.
Okay, now, creepy, but this isn't a real one. This is basically just like an image of one.
They wish for peace. We wish for war.
Okay. Good to know. I don't suppose you remember the specific wiggly finger that wronged you so long ago. Fuck, do they even have a concept of time? I'm talking. Fuck, whatever.
This is insanity. This is absolutely fucking insane.
Yeah, I literally just asked the potato, do you remember the wizard that pissed you off?
You all appear the same. Forever marked as the enemy of potato kind.
But
And do you mean all
thank
wiggly
you.
fingers, or just all of those who kind of, walk and talk?
Yes.
Fair enough.
I'm closing the lid, Mongo.
Okie dokie. Good talk.
Cayenne, what are you doing at this time? You hear them talking to presumably the potato, but it's very muffled from your room.
I would go check out the noise.
You come in at the very tail end of hearing the deep rumbling voice of potato speech from within the pot and Mungo talking to the pot.
Do we hear this?
Yeah, you hear her come into the room.
That seems to be the of confusion. I could tell you what's going on, but that's not going to clear it up. That's only going to fucking make it worse.
You know?
I was here. I know what's going on. I don't fucking know what's going on.
You know, usually, sis, I would say Mongo has a way with words to obscure what's going on and make it entertaining as he tells the story, but he's 100% on point there. We can tell you everything. It's not going to make a damn bit of sense.
Okay.
Just know that sweet potatoes apparently desire peace,
Yeah.
or want to be in pieces. I'm not really sure. Look, the source of this information's in the fucking...
That's the first time you've heard that one, Nikolai.
What? I didn't hear.
That the sweet potatoes desire peace.
Sweet potatoes, what? Okay, we have to find out how these. That's interesting.
I don't even know what y'all are fucking talking about.
Join the club.
All I know is that there's sentient potatoes that kill things.
Yeah.
Oh, yes,
That's
out
it.
of revenge. They seek war based
Hey.
off of neglect and revenge.
Yeah. Neglect and
Okay.
revenge. Yeah, apparently so. Huh. Well. All right.
So after I go to West Haven, I think I need to go to the Wizard City and see if I can ask the Queen to get our kind to stop making shit.
Leave it up to the artificers.
At least you'll only make mechanical things.
Huh. All right.
Cheyenne's like, I am sorry I walked into this conversation.
Yeah, Cayenne is just kind of looking back and forth to them, as in she's just here and understands nothing.
I'm an innocent bystander to this insanity.
Let's see. Well, the sack of potatoes, and this is Nikolai thinking out. The sack of potatoes seems to be more in control, under control. The pot of potatoes, I will put in the bag, in my bag of holding, and I will gift the sack to Alice. Yeah, makes more sense to me. You want to go talk to Alice about some of her problems there, Mongo? She said some things that I think we can help clear up for her.
Clear up! Oh, that's funny. That's a good one. Nothing's going to be up clear ever again.
Well, I mean, one thing in particular.
Cayenne. It's at this point you realize that your two brothers overheard your conversation with Alice that you were having post-combat.
Who heard what exactly?
Are you asking this out loud?
Yeah, she is.
Okay.
I was asking the DM.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry. When you were having that conversation with Alice about her godhood, the two boys came in quietly and heard some of it and quietly left.
How much did you two hear?
Just that she felt, for me, just that she felt that she was no better than the thing we just defeated. And I wanted to share with her simply the fact that she questioned that makes her better than the thing we defeated. And I'm thinking, I may be wrong, I was going to bring this up with you, that any minions that a deity would have, they have the ability to release them of their, or relieve them of their requirements should they feel they want to. And
Okay, get to
if
the
we
point.
can, and we can bring that up to her, she can test for herself that she's better than the thing we just defeated.
Nikolai, this is of a celestial nature, not a mortal one.
Yes.
Meaning, this is deity related business,
Yeah.
meaning this will not be brought up with her.
But she needs help.
She may need help, but she is also in a place that is safest for her, where she is comfortable for her to figure these things out.
Hmm.
She was given a huge bombshell. If she's consistently pushed, then that could potentially make things 10 times worse. And then you get to live with those consequences the rest of your days until either you take the coward's way out or something kills you.
And actually, since we're talking about deities, there's a very real chance that even after you shed your mortal coil, things are still gonna suck.
Exactly.
Hmm.
A deity can choose to release someone when they feel that they want to.
Do a perception.
Who?
All of you.
Okay.
Okie doke.
Not you. You're downstairs.
Huh?
You don't count.
Okay.
That is an 8.
21.
Perception. 16.
It startles you a little bit, Cayenne, as you're standing there, and you feel something brush along your leg, and the wisps of smoke are kind of cold to the touch as you see the Cheshire kind of saunter into the room. Speaking of my Alice, whispers and rumors about Alice, wanderings about Alice, a twisted maze of words about Alice. Curiosity. Skinning a cat. Just kind of saunters
No.
around the room a
No.
little bit and sits down. Oh, do share these quandaries with me, as I am quite curious myself about what you mean with my Alice.
I mean nothing but friendship and assistance. It is my personal goal to help whoever I can, whenever I can, in every way I can.
Sometimes helping is pushing somebody off a cliff to their death. Sometimes helping them is speaking to them through the walls of a white padded room. Words can be helpful, words can also be forsaken. And the Cheshire looks over at you, Cayenne. And you realize this is not one of those beings that, much like the rabbit or the others, this is her creature to call. Kind of like Osling's two wolves.
I've explained that this needs to discover her role on her own first and seek help when she needs it later. given the news that I've given her, as heavy as it is, I truly believe she needs time to adjust.
The Cheshire starts to fade away.
Oh.
The veil has been lifted. The play begins. And you just see that smile fade away, that toothy grin.
What's that supposed to mean?
I want to talk to him some more.
I need each of you to make a resistance.
So, will save?
Let me look at a sheet. Specific one. Oh my god, why didn't you be later? Constitution for me.
Constitution.
Or actually, no, will, sorry.
Will. Damn. So, wisdom.
Yeah.
Constitution would have been awesome.
I will
That's
reroll.
one of my higher numbers.
15.
16.
13.
Get a 14.
As you guys watch the Cheshire leave, the purple smoke, the purple tealy kind of oil spill smoke that it leaves behind swirls around the room. And you smell a little bit cayenne, and you're like, you kind of snort a little bit as the you shake off the effects of the opium type effect that it has. It's almost like an opium smoke. And you're like, fuck.
Alrighty.
And Mongo, you feel it hit you a little bit and start to relax you some from the tension that you're feeling.
Does Mongo know where that came from?
Not exactly, but Cayenne would definitely be able to tell you.
Oh, okay, I just got hit with something.
You okay?
Oh, what was that? Where did it come from?
How are you feeling?
Describe the effects. Mongo would describe the exact effects that he's feeling.
Yeah. Essentially, he's feeling the effects of basically taking a small hit of opium.
Okay.
Oh,
I guess a little bit of euphoria.
Euphoria, relaxation, you know.
Ooh.
I don't think that was from the potatoes.
That's an overdose fix. Never mind.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh shit, didn't we just kill Mongo?
No. Well, I mean, the overdose effects would be slow breathing, seizures, dizziness, weakness, loss of consciousness, coma, and possible death.
Glad nobody rolled a 1.
Yeah.
Good.
So, yeah, euphoria, relaxation, and relief of physical pain.
Yep.
Have fun with that dry nose and that dry mouth, though.
Yeah, it is a little
and-
dry.
Oh, and you might end up constipated.
There's a lot of things I already don't give a shit
So-
about.
Here's a fun fact for the audience and those I am playing this lovely campaign with. Opium, the substance, actually does inhibit muscle movement in your bowels, which actually can, in fact, lead to constipation in high enough doses.
Wow.
That sounds terrible.
Lucky it was
It
just a
does.
brush with it. God, no wonder that people were so cranky back in the day.
It makes me wonder if someone could actually make a medication for someone who has an issue with their bowels to actually help with hardening of stool if they have an issue.
I'm sure it's probably
Maybe,
been
yeah.
probably actually been looked into. What happened to Nikolai?
You rolled pretty high.
13?
You're feeling a bit too.
Cayenne is going to work on getting some peppermint leaves for them to chew on to settle their stomach. Because when you chew on peppermint leaves and then swallow at least a little bit of spit, not swallow the leaves, it actually helps to relieve upset stomach.
Yeah.
It's really good for upset tum tum.
Mm-hmm. So, was a lovely little parting gift by our friend. Peppermint should help.
Yeah, so that'll fix Mongo's upset stomach, but then basically give him catnip.
Yep.
Basically.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I just don't know where the hell it came from. Or is that just...
I just said who it came from. Without actually mentioning the Cheshire's name. I said
Mongo's a little
it
stoned right now.
I said thanks to the parting gift of our lovely friend.
You don't want that asshole floating his ass back in.
Okay, so, because just like a few things I wouldn't mind talking to him about. Is that going to be happening every time?
I have no idea. I don't want to find out.
So, how many times have we heard about someone needing help, and if only somebody had reached out to try to help them, things would have been better? And we're just supposed to not say or do anything.
I'm gonna be real honest, given her history and what I know about her, given her past. Those that have tried to help her before have absolutely completely fucked her over. Doesn't matter how nice they've been, they can be as nice, do no wrong, not be evil whatsoever, and in some form or fashion, they fucked up. And one fuck up is more than enough for her.
Angelo,
Yes.
as you're talking to Biddy in their chair, Biddy pauses for a moment, and you hear almost like a whisper of air behind you. And as you turn around, you see Alice has come in with the Hatter, and you see that blade in her hand. That well, actually, you're not familiar with the blade because you were on fire.
Yeah.
And she looks over at you, and she's like, "It appears someone has reset the board, and I'm going to have to remove your piece again." And you guys upstairs hear this quiet whisper of Alice say that.
I'd rather you didn't. Although I do appreciate what you did earlier.
You hear Angela realizing he's in danger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alice, please don't hurt him.
Can't hear much from my mouse when you're in a room upstairs.
Yeah. as I'm
Yeah, I'll head out.
going to the door.
And she takes a small step towards you, raising that blade up directly in front of her.
I'd really rather you'd not, Alice.
I've put you down once. I'll at least I'll put you down again.
We can explain, kind of, sort of. Okay, probably not really, considering everything, but fuck it, we'll try anyway.
She looks up slightly at the balcony.
Please don't hurt him.
He's been reset.
She motions with her other hand, and you see the white rabbit pull out an hourglass and set it down. You start to see his hand go through. And you instantly realize what that means, Mongo.
You've got this amount of time to
Okay.
explain.
Then... Yeah, right, so this is going to be a challenge for Mongo, because he actually has to use as few words as possible to get his point across.
Yeah. Shall I, Mongo?
Shut the hell up! Look, he used to follow the bad guy, now he's following pervert, so he should be better now.
Oh my god. Okay, let me try. Is there still stand?
It's pouring through.
Okay. You killed him. His soul was taken by a nut asshole. He is now under the servitude of a nut asshole person. That's all I know.
You hear Hatter behind Alice. To make sure, ma'am, be sure to take the head off the body as well.
No!
He was also under the influence of the guy who we just all kind of ganged up on and killed, but now that influence is gone, so he should be good.
You can step in, Cayenne.
Dread holds no sway over him.
She looks over at you, Angelo, and now that you're mortal, you suddenly just drop to a knee, feeling the crushing weight of her madness.
Oof.
The floorboards look like they're moving on their own. She looks demonic. Hatter looks demonic. The rabbit just looks terrifying. The fire almost jumps out of the fireplace. The books flying around
Damn.
the room as the room begins to distort and twist. Floorboards breaking away as smoke comes through them. And she lowers the blade down and she's like, "Hmm." And she goes and sits down in the chair, and suddenly you can catch your breath, Angelo, as you've been holding it this entire time. The room, you blink a few times, the room looking back to normal. The sheer power of her hitting you much, much harder now.
What was that?
You guys upstairs are just like, you didn't see shit except for him drop to his knees and start hyperventilating.
So, you're not killing him?
Not yet.
Thank you.
Come downstairs. We must discuss things.
I'll head downstairs.
Yep.
I'll say it. I think this truly demonstrates to us, guys, that Alice is a good person. She can listen to reason.
And she just kind of smiles, and it just unsettles you, Nikolai.
It's all right. It's like...
I have a feeling that Nikolai is going to have a very rude awakening that reasoning has no power whatsoever in her domain at all.
Oh, how right you
Perhaps.
are.
Perhaps.
So, as everybody takes a seat and Hatter passes out teacups, Cayenne, you can examine the tea if you choose to. See if it's
I
spiked.
will.
Was Alice there with us?
Yeah,
right?
she's sitting in the in a chair as well.
Is she handed out a teacup?
The Hatter doesn't give her one,
Okay.
but she does take a few snacks. And as you guys begin to have this tea party and conversation with Alice, that's where we will call.
Some session.
We'll start with Jazzy on her highlights.
It's a lot. Forgive me if I get silent. I'm very tired.
I get that. I can see it on your face pretty easily.
Yeah. Brain. Seriously, I'm tired.
I can give you a pass for tonight if you want.
Like, the biggest takeaway for me is just stuff with Alice. That's like literally like the biggest takeaway for me. Like being able to do stuff with her, like with talking about like her deity stuff. And then it's gonna be great when Nikolai finds out that there is no reasoning with her and that all attempts are failure for you. I will be eating that up and enjoying that.
I'm excited because next session you guys will actually get to spend time with these characters and start exploring them.
Mm-hmm. Angelo coming back to life. As weird as that fucking is. And then being able to hold off Alice from killing him. Again.
Again.
Poor Manny's over there shitting bricks like, here we go again.
Oy.
Got a new god too.
Yeah.
Yep.
What about you, Nikolai?
I guess discovering in a way how the junk drawer works a little bit more. I think that's cool. I mean, it's still going to be random shit, but it might be random shit that may be more useful. Like, I need a fork right now, and I get a trident. Well, I guess that'll do it.
But what is a fork but a tiny trident?
The whole event of Angelo being possessed and then murdered and then rebirthed, that was pretty funny. The sack of killer potatoes is fucking hilarious as shit. And all the freaking ways we can just use that in psychotic revenge ways. Like, these little bastards, even though they want to kill us, are like totally up our alley. Like I said earlier, a whole other spin on the concept of potato famine.
Yeah.
Potato holocaust instead? It's like, jeez. And the fun way at the last moment there for Nikolai to be able to stay within the bounds of the directive provided by his sister to suggest that Alice is a good person instead, regardless of, the issues she's facing. It seems that was cool. Yeah, that's about all I got.
What about you, Tom?
Fucking potatoes.
Potato.
Sometimes you just got to lean into the insanity. It's like, all right, Mongo had a conversation with carnivorous spuds. Yeah, that's totally a thing that happened. And then Biddy has seen the light.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
Manny having another character death, and then
Almost
it's
having
like,
another
yeah,
one.
we'll just wait till morning. It's like, all right. This was a wacky one.
Mm-hmm.